As the only judgment for a criminal conviction that has come close to former President Donald Trump, the Trump Organization was fined $1.6 million, the maximum penalty allowed, by a New York judge on Friday, for operating a decade-long tax fraud scheme. The Trump Corporation and Trump Payroll Corporation, two Trump entities, were found guilty of 17 felonies, including tax fraud and fabricating financial records, last month. The maximum fine that the businesses could face under New York law is about $1.6 million, a cost that the Trump Organization could easily afford. Despite acknowledging that it will have a minimal impact on a multi-billion-dollar company, prosecutor Joshua Steinglass asked Judge Juan Merchan to impose the maximum fine on the Trump Organization. Weisselberg, the longtime chief financial officer of the Trump Organization, was sentenced to 5 months in prison earlier this week, as part of a deal he reached with prosecutors. Steinglass referred to Weisselberg as saying, "We all know that these corporations cannot go to jail as Alan Weisselberg has. Make such behavior as expensive as you can, that is the only way to effectively discourage it." Democratic New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg told CNN that while the fine against the Trump Organization is significant, lawmakers should increase the penalties for businesses that break the law. It's critical regardless of the defendant because it involves deception, greed, and tax cheating, according to Bragg. Given that it involved the former president's corporation and CFO, it obviously becomes more significant. It sends a message, or at least I hope it does, to New Yorkers that they should be aware that there is only one system of justice, and that no matter who you are, this sort of behavior won't be tolerated in Manhattan. It isn't enough. The law should, in Bragg's words, reflect what I think many of us see, particularly those who sat through the trial and saw the 13-year pattern of deep greed and misconduct laid bare, and we should have stiffer penalties for conduct like that, he said. Because there is no legal method to dissolve the company, the real estate industry is not in danger of being destroyed. No one will be imprisoned as a result of the jury's decision. The Trump Organization's reputation and capacity to transact business, secure loans, or win contracts could be adversely affected by a felony conviction. Although the former president and his family were not charged in this case, the prosecution frequently brought up Trump's involvement with the untaxed benefits given to some executives, such as company-funded apartments, car leases, and personal expenses, during the trial. Trump explicitly sanctioned tax fraud, according to one prosecutor. One of the jurors claimed that the Trump Organization had a culture of fraud, but occasionally referred to Trump as the unremarkable Bob Smith when discussing the businessman's knowledge of the crimes in relation to the charges. Weisselberg agreed to testify truthfully against the company at trial, after entering a guilty plea to 15 felonies connected to the tax fraud scheme last year. On June 30, 2021, a picture of the Fifth Avenue entrance to Trump Tower was taken in the Manhattan neighborhood of New York City, USA. According to a Trump Organization fraud trial juror who spoke to CNN, the panel was serious and didn't focus on Donald Trump. Up until Tuesday, when he was sentenced, he continued to be on paid leave from the Trump Organization, where he was paid slightly more than $1 million annually. One person with knowledge of the agreement described Weisselberg's severance package as generous. When Weisselberg was sentenced, Merchan stated that if it weren't for the agreement, he would have given him a longer prison term. Merchan stated that he found Weisselberg's wife, who never worked for Trump, receiving a $6,000 payroll check from Weisselberg, in order for her to become eligible for Social Security benefits, to be the most offensive. Weisselberg, the business, and the former president are all victims, according to a Trump Organization spokesperson. The spokesperson said, "These politically motivated prosecutors will stop at nothing to get President Trump and continue the never-ending witch hunt that began the day he announced his presidency. New York has become the crime and murder capital of the world. We will challenge this ruling because we did nothing wrong." The district attorney's office in Manhattan is still looking into the firm's business methods. People with knowledge of the matter said that while prosecutors are looking into a variety of issues, they have recently turned their attention back to the company's role in hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels to prevent her from disclosing an affair with Trump just before the 2016 election. Trump has refuted the relationship. According to the sources, after new information from the civil investigation into the accuracy of the Trump Organization's financial statements by the New York Attorney General surfaced, prosecutors are also looking into possible insurance fraud. A $250 million civil lawsuit brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James against Donald Trump, his 3 eldest children, Weisselberg, and others, which claims they defrauded lenders, insurers, and tax authorities by inflating the value of numerous Trump Organization properties for more than a decade, may be the biggest threat the company is currently facing. The Democratic-controlled House Ways and Means Committee released copies of former President Donald Trump and former First Lady Melania Trump's 2017 individual tax returns on Friday, December 30, 2022. The returns total nearly 6,000 pages, with more than 2,700 pages of individual returns and more than 3,000 pages of returns for Trump's business entities. Some sensitive personal information, like social security and bank account numbers, have been redacted. In addition to money, James, a Democrat, wants to prevent Trump and the kids involved in the lawsuit from ever being a director of a company with a New York state registration. Additionally, she is attempting to have the Trump Organization's corporate certificate revoked, which, if successful, would effectively require the business to stop operating in New York State. An impartial monitor has been appointed by the Corp presiding over the lawsuit to examine the financial records and business decisions of the Trump Organization. He recently rejected motions to dismiss the case and declared that he was thinking about punishing Trump's legal team. It is scheduled for October. Trump has asserted that the lawsuit is politically motivated and denied any wrongdoing.